This episode is brought to you by Triggered 22 LLC, a veteran-owned apparel company. By purchasing a t-shirt, hat, or hoodie from Triggered 22, you're not only supporting a small business, but you're bringing awareness to veteran PTSD and suicide. Please help save the lives of those who fought for our freedoms. Visit triggered22.com now and place your order. Let's help those suffering from invisible wounds.
Welcome to the American Grown Podcast, hosted by Austin Sullivan. The American Grown Podcast will focus on people from different walks of life and their journey to where they are now. Now, turn up your volume and settle in for a great episode.
Hi, I'm Austin Sullivan. This is the American Grown Podcast, recorded inside the Colortech Creative Solutions studios. Today, we have Katie Trainer, traveling educational muralist and all-around random art creative person of whateverness. Katie, welcome to episode 39 of the American Grown Podcast. Woo! Thanks for finally getting here. I mean, I feel like I've been trying to
like a year.
Yeah.
I feel bad about that.
No, it's not you. It's you're very busy. You're all over the place. I mean, I feel like you've
scatterbrained and scattered physically.
Yeah, but that's how the best creatives are, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was gonna just say I feel like you have covered all of Pennsylvania, really. Like I feel like you're.
Oh, I'm getting there.
Yeah,
I'm getting there.
You should have a map and all the counties, and you have murals in each one. That'd be kind of cool.
I can do that for you.
Some of the topics we want to talk about include your 100+ murals, nature as an inspiration for your art, and then educating the next generation of how important art is. So it is a small world here in Lepppnin, and I like how you put that in the form, Lepppnin. I actually graduated with your sister, Chrissy Trainer, back in 2011 from Cedar Crest High School.
Just a little bit ago, right?
Oh, yeah, just a little bit ago. Feels like just yesterday, but I guess it's been a couple of years now. And I think you also have a younger brother.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, okay. He did track and field.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
He was the mascot.
So I remember seeing him around. Good guy. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Married a good girl, has 2 pretty cute little babes.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Is he married? Oh, Nick, hey, shout out. Congrats, man. That's awesome. I mean, I haven't seen him in years, but good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where'd you grow up? Born and raised? Let's get that filled in a while.
Oh, born and raised in Lepppnin, PA. And I went to Cedar Crest. My whole family's from this area. So I traveled the country and inevitably came back and ended up being here for a couple of years now. It's like, 5 years? Back in the region, like the Pennsylvania, Central PA region, but spending a lot more time in Lebanon in the last year. Yeah, now I'm officially like back here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you a Cedar Crest alum or Lebanon? Or?
Yep.
Okay. Well, let me say this. In high school, I'm assuming you were in all the arts, music, theater.
Oh, I was like the weird skateboard magician, like the weird nerd that didn't really associate with school because I didn't understand that it was supposed to help me be a better person or something. I don't know. I was like anti-school. I was also not that great at it, sort of. But I did all the art stuff, yes.
Yeah.
Always did.
After high school, what was your plan for after high school?
Went to Hack. Thank goodness Hack exists in Lebanon because that like lifted me out of some other realm I would have been in otherwise. Then I ended up taking all the different classes I could in anything. And I took like welding, which was offered through Hack. I took like sculpture offered through Hack and metal sculpture. Yeah, it was like this assembly class and ended up like meeting a really good friend that's a landscaper that I started working for. And then like, yeah, so then I went to all the Hacks. I went to I went to Harrisburg and Lancaster just to try out the different stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's I think Hack is like a hidden gem. It's underrated, you know, because if you don't know what you want to do after high school, you can get a taste of so much. You can experience so much there and save a boatload of money, really.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Like I had a professor that was like, this is the exact same class I teach at Millersville, but you're getting it for like $2,500.
Yeah.
He's like, this is the same class I teach. I'm not changing anything.
Right,
and
exactly.
I was like, okay, well, cool.
So if you're a high school student out there and you don't know what you want to do, or you're creative but you don't have an outlet, why not go to Hack, save some money, and try some different things?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a plug for Hack there. If anyone's listening out there.
I mean, I vouch for them completely. Like,
yeah.
Totally changed my world.
I mean, I got my associate's degree there for business. The listeners, some of them know I went to Kutztown because I wanted to be a graphic artist. Here at Colortech, we do printing and everything. So I thought, oh, I'll be a designer, pre-press operator, this and that. And yeah, I quickly learned I can't draw. And yeah, it was not for me. So I moved into sales and went from there. But this is a good time because one of the prompts on the form to be a guest on the podcast is, what are you most knowledgeable about? And what you said, if it's all right, I'm going to read it word for word because I really liked it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. You said, I'm a professional. I figure it out and master it until I find the next thing to be obsessed with kind of person. So I know stuff, but once I find a new challenge, I just dive right in full-heartedly. And that kind of reminds me of, like you're saying with Hack, it's like you're a jack of all trades kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Would you say that kind of like describes your art and what you do?
Yeah, and like Hack gives you the opportunity to figure out lots of little weird. I took mythology.
They have mythology there?
They did at the time.
Okay,
yeah.
So what like Greek mythology?
Yeah,
like...
it was like a dive into like mythology and like the theories behind it, and you had a lot of, that was like a reading class though. Ooh. So it was hard for me, but
yeah,
it's funny to think that mythology was hard.
Yeah.
But it was.
Yeah. So what was your favorite, would you say, your favorite class there?
Oh man, at the Lepppnin one. I loved the creative writing classes. Yeah.
Okay, I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean, that ties in with...
I lie, yoga.
They have yoga too?
I learned yoga. My yoga teacher, she was 65, and we were like, oh, happy birthday, thinking she was like 50. She told us she was like 65, and all of us were floored.
Whoa.
And then I like really took yoga serious.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yoga's like the holy grail. It makes you younger. Would you say?
Well, it puts you in tune with yourself and makes you learn to breathe and learn to relax a little differently.
Yeah.
I actually need to dive back into it. I'm a little anxious as a human right now. But.
Yeah. Well, I think we all are, just the way the world is, and a lot of ups and downs and uncertainties. But yeah, if you can find balance in life, I think that's really important. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think yoga helps with that. Your first job out of high school, what was it?
I worked for my family's restaurant, was my first thing. And so...
Okay, what's that?
Quickly learned Trainer's Midway Diner. It's out on 78. It's like midway between like Harrisburg and New York, sort of midway. But it's called Midway.
Okay.
Yeah. And quickly learned I'm really bad at multitasking. Definitely not a good waitress.
Yeah.
Definitely not good at short order cooking. I could make like those big like 12-gallon soups really well. I was really good at like, and then I did like I started like evolving into like entertainment and took over like the banquet room. So I started taking the banquet space and turning it into like an event space and trying to like curate car shows and like music events, and started trying to facilitate things. And some of them were flops. Some of them were interesting. At least people tried stuff and like showed up for the first time. But yeah, I tried a bunch of weird stuff there.
I had no clue that your family business had a diner.
Yeah, it's a diner, and the banquet room is what I was really trying to like push.
Yeah.
Because you get the big parties, you get the big people, lots of people taking photos and advertising and all that. So
that was kind of first job out of high school. Mm-hmm. And I saw you brought cards, which I think ties in with this.
I did a magic show there a couple times.
Yeah, I was going to say you were a traveling magician, and you even wrote a book about it. What are the chances?
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I was a magician. So I was first a nerd, and then secondly became a magician out of like all the extra time I had, and then brought some magic tricks in, and me and my friends like competed. Like Chris Angel just came out, and all of us became.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we all went crazy.
Oh, I love that guy.
So obsessed. And started like competing sort of, and then we'd film each other and like go out in the town, and we were just like total little dorks. And then it started like leveling up a little bit. Then we started getting shows, and then like I started booking like gigs at the Renaissance Fair. I got some like professional training from there, and then that's where I got my stage training. And then was then I took that on my own and like started doing my own shows. And then eventually I was just like, I tried to move to Erie, and that didn't work. And then I just like hit the streets and was like, I'm just gonna travel, and that's where this book starts, is like leaving Erie.
Where are you at when you're learning the ways of, I was going to say the ways of the force, but the ways of the magicians, right? Yeah. So,
no, it is. It's like a secret cult. Gotta like be part of it. Yeah. So, I mean, I got really into the handling. Like some of my friends were really into buying gimmicks and buying expensive props. And my whole thing was like, I want to not ever deal like that stuff. So I only had to buy one like $40 coin before I realized I don't know where I put that for very long. Like it's like I'm stupid about objects and multitasking, and it's like, oh, I put it in this pocket, and now it's like, so yeah, I just use simple materials. And so that was a different strategy than they had. So I had a different method. which is respected sort of, but also less visually appealing. And this was like before like YouTube became big, where you could like find out how things were done. So now like you can just type in floating this or that, and, like,
and all the answers, all the answers to all of life's questions come up. All right, so learn the ways of the magician, and you were going to move to Erie, PA, or were you already up in Erie?
I moved to Erie.
So you moved to Erie for a brief time. Why up there? It's freezing cold, isn't it? Like for most of the year?
Yeah, my girlfriend at the time wanted to live with her family because she never had.
That makes
so
sense.
We decided to move together, and it was cold. It was like every day you had to move your car from one side to the other, because like they had to snowplow that side, and then the next day they snowplow that side.
Yeah.
So like you had to move your car.
I mean, it's like walls of snow, right?
It was walls of snow.
Yeah. Yep. Wow. I just pictured like
nobody moves to Erie in January.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, that's when you moved too.
Why?
Was it around January? Yeah. I'm glad you're back. You brought your book. What are the chances? Tell us a little bit about that, and give us like a brief synopsis of it.
So I was really, really big into the law of attraction and how like you can think your way into certain circumstances. And I can't say that I fully believe everything's possible, but I believe a lot of stuff actually is. And like I just stumble my way into like certain circumstances and try to figure out how things happen in relation to my timing in a certain location, in relation to my willingness to follow, like maybe I'm compelled to talk to somebody and like for no reason. And then I find out it's this amazing opportunity that just continues having more and more and more and more, which is what's happening coming up in Grantville in August, which we'll talk about later. Yeah, that's exactly a great example of what happens in this book, is like right place, right time, right moment, right mindset to like be able to allow for something cool to happen.
Two things that I like really believe in. Everything happens for a reason, whether it's good or bad, because you don't know in the moment, but I feel like everything happens for a reason. And then
the book was intended to be revolutionary at the time, and it's on its 10-year anniversary of being written, so it took a very long time to finish it. It took a very long time. I started it in journals, and the goal of it was to inspire people to try to do something they never tried before, or to try to see the world a little more open-minded, a little more like friendly. Like the world is not, most of the time it's not as scary as a lot of people are trained to think it is, and like people are pretty decent for the most part.
I think so too.
There's bad people, but if your mind, and this is like I was very conscious about my writing about not being like just stupid willy-nilly. It's about like going out and allowing yourself to be open to opportunities while also being safe and having like a safeguard. Even if I didn't have somebody that was meeting me, I would tell people I did. Type of thing.
I understand. I love the soft touch, and I'm printing like that soft touch on the cover, so that automatically draws my attention, and it feels good. And soon to be a #1 best-selling author. I love it.
I published it like that. It's a self-published, but I had a bunch of people help edit it.
See, that's my second thing, is that if you put something out into the universe, out into the world, I feel like it has a better chance of becoming a reality. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, that's like, I kind of like really I try to live my life like that. I'm sort of in like a down slope rising. I broke my shoulder and really had a lot of pain. Hit like a very bad depression from the pain, and never slept for like almost 2 years. It was so bad. And like they took the metal back out again. But yeah, so I'm coming out of like that negativity. So I'm trying to reprogram myself a little bit. If that makes sense. Like,
if somebody wanted to purchase, where could they get it?
Oh, it's on Amazon. I'm actually going to be republishing it into 3 smaller chapters.
Okay.
So it is only going to be, this is the unconventional first edition. It will eventually soon be the conventional second edition.
Okay.
And it'll be 3 different versions, because there's 3 different segments of it.
Magician, author, soon to be #1 best-selling author, and your mural. So to dive back in, you've been a professional traveling muralist since 2017. How did you get started into that? Like, what was if you remember back to the first project you did, and then since then you've done like 106 or more.
Yeah. So I actually applied for a TED Talk called, I applied twice and I was denied twice, but it was called From Magic to Murals the first time, and then the second time was how I went from a homeless magician to an award-winning muralist in a year. And so I was like just traveling the country, like all over the place. And so like when you do magic, it's unless you're recording it and like making money off of like streaming video and stuff. It is my energy in exchange for your reaction, and hopefully you tip me something.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's all just like energy exchange, money in return. And then I was set up in Nashville, like on the street, just like doing magic. And I saw the performers that were just like jamming out. There was a guy playing a styrofoam cup. And he just followed, he was like a trumpet. He called him Trumpet Man. And he like poked a hole in it, and he would just walk up to people and going, like right behind them.
What?
Yeah, he was like, and people would like turn around thinking a trumpet, and it was a guy with a cup.
That's pretty good.
And he'd like go like that, and they'd like laugh and like, ha 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 ha, like I can't believe it. And they'd hand him money. And I'm like watching all this, and then this artist is next to me, and he's just sitting there, so relaxed, chilling, drawing. Just has like 2 portfolios next to him. People walk up to him, look through his stuff. He doesn't say much, and hand him $20, and they walk away with his print. And it happened again. And here I am, like working so hard, like fighting the sounds, and it's loud. And I was just like, I feel like I need to do something smarter. Like, the street performing thing might not be my forever thing. So then I developed what I called theoretical science meets art. Okay. And then I made prints, and then I would set up on the streets. When I came back, I ended up in Oregon and was there for like 11 months. And then
in Oregon, all the way across?
Yeah. So I came back to PA, caught a ride with some friends that were moving to Seattle. We drove across the country and drove up the coast. Stayed in Seattle for 2 months, and then just caught a ride with some band people, and decided to stop in Oregon again, and just got off and stayed there. And I fell in love with it. I was working on like eco village development stuff and like permaculture things and rocket stoves, and had like this really cool community. Okay.
Hold on. I love where you're going, but let's back. So what is it? What is a rocket stove and an eco society or culture?
Like an eco village. I visited a whole bunch of them out there. So I ended up staying at 2 different houses while I was there. It was a lady who had this whole giant garden, and I called her like my Oregon mom. Okay. And so she had this huge garden with chickens, and like I could come and go, and
so very like self-sufficient.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. And she had like some other properties in town and stuff, but she was pretty awesome. And she took me like hiking with her all these places, and like connected me to all. She was in the theater. So the way I met all these people was we stopped in town for like half an hour. I pulled the local pamphlet, saw there was a theater group meeting at 6:30 on a Thursday night every week, and it was like Thursday at 6, and I was like, guys, we're going to this theater group. We showed up at this group, and they made us get on stage. Like we told our story about crossing the country and stuff. And then that was the people I reached out to when I came back, and they were like, oh yeah, come stay with us. And they just so happened to have somebody that just published their book was having this party at this like big open barn party, and it was this whole magical experience. And I just decided, I was like, hey, I don't even know the name of the band anymore. I was like, hey band, I'm not going with you. Like they were heading into the desert, hitting like a couple spots down the coast, and then going into the desert. I was like, yeah, I'm going to just stay in Oregon. And I'm so glad I did. I loved it.
Okay. Yeah. It sounds like a wild time.
And then from there, I connected through like different group meetings to a guy that was doing eco village development. And so he was building like, he called it an ico, and it was like this icosahedron type of building structure that he created. And it was supposed to be like collapse resistant. And the way that he had it wrapped, it was supposed to be very, very strong, and it had all these shelves on it. So it was like testing all this stuff and like growing you could grow like 700 sprouts out of like this one little building. Wow. Yeah. And it was it was a super compact little thing. And then he started making like rocket stoves, which is basically like third world countries can't, like they're suffering from smoke inhalation problems because they're trying to cook their food, and they're using whatever scraps they can find. The heat only can get so high, so they have to keep throwing on whatever they have, which creates a lot of smoke. And smoke is simply a byproduct of improper fuel to gas ratio, fuel to air ratio. So the rocket stove, we were making J rockets, and we were testing like the length of like the height with the width and the sizes and the insulation. You had to make like insulated like columns, and the chimney had to be insulated. And then we were like building this thing that would put a pot on top, and we got it to 1,000 degrees. And so it was supposed to be like trying to figure out how to turn sticks into like fuel with like the littlest byproduct possible. And then he was eventually working, I left before that, but he was working on like incinerator for like human waste. Eventually he was like working on like trying to figure out how to fix these problems of like like there's a lot of problems with eco villages, and he was trying to figure out this stuff. So I was just like making these prototypes.
That is so cool. Yeah. Like seriously, who'd have thought? You go out there.
I wasn't super great at it. It was like concrete mixed with like the little white pieces. I forget what it's called, perlite. And then so that was like the insulative property, and then just like some wire mesh and stuff. Just trying different sizes of things and seeing what works and how it works.
Interesting.
And measuring things. And I'm not a scientist. I don't know if I have the patience for it.
No, I don't think I would either.
I sort of tried it. He was like very, very official.
What an experience. Holy cow. So, all right. So now you're out in Oregon. So what was the trip back then to like Lepppnin? Let's kind of bring it back, because then I want to really then start to dive into more of the murals and everything else that you're doing and talk about your awards. So you're out in Oregon. Was it another band heading back to PA? Like, what was...
No, I caught a flight. Much easier.
That's great. Okay, so just a regular American Airlines or whatever it was. Back
for Christmas time.
Okay.
And ended up getting really sick. And I was like really sick. And sort of like I had mono again type of thing. Yeah. Like, I definitely had mono as a kid, but like it was like so sick. But it was like over a month. I was like bedridden. And in the meantime, everything in Oregon kind of fell apart that I was doing. And so I kind of ended up going back out there in May to like clean up my stuff and like bring back with me what I wanted. But I ended up setting up at like the West Riding Farmers Market, the Lancaster Farmers Market, Harrisburg.
Okay.
Just going around doing magic tricks with my artwork next to me. And that's the time, like that, when I was sick is when I developed the Theoretical Science Meets Art series. So it served its purpose, even though it was pretty bad. And then from there, that's where I kind of merged the two. And then West Riding is where I got the offer to do a mural for the first time.
Wow. Okay, so West Riding, and don't give up on the TED Talks, because I would definitely listen to that, and I feel like your titles or what you're going for is, I think, awesome. Throw it out there.
I might have needed a couple more accolades.
Yeah, you got some now, so I feel like you're going to be on a TED Talk.
I'd hope for it.
I feel like it's going to happen. So now, all right, so West Riding, first mural. Do you remember what it was?
Yeah, so I had the piece that caught the guy's attention. It was a spiral, like the Fibonacci spiral mixed with a seashell. It was like Fibonacci shell, and that's what I called it. And he's like, I like this piece. Would you make a mural out of it? And I thought he was like a homeless dude. I was so used to like traveling and like, okay, whatever, like whatever, heckler. Like, right. he comes back and throws a magazine down. He's on the cover, and I'm like, yo, what? And he's developing a mural corridor, and so he gives me his card, and I was just like. Like everything was like, oh man, this is like real,
legit.
Yeah. So he's like, if you can make it better, I'll pay you to do a mural. And so I like researched. I decided to make it like art throughout history and the circles around the seashell, and then that was what I painted, and that's what started everything. He connected me to Mike Miller. Mike Miller does like all the murals in West Riding for the most part, and he ran a mural program out of the school district. And then Dean Rohrbach is his name. He had connected me with the Philly Mural Program people. And then that's how I learned like the proper prep, the proper way to do things, the proper way to like
I was just gonna ask
get the right materials, how to use the parachute cloth. That's what some of the materials are like. It's called parachute. It's not parachute. It's just like a polyester fabric woven, and then you paint on it and then you mount it later. How to do that properly? It's like you use like masonic tools.
Yeah. Yeah. So shout out to, like you said, to Mike and the other gentleman's name. Dean. Yep.
Yeah. Dean passed away, unfortunately, but his legacy lives on.
There we go. Exactly. So now if somebody, what's the street that your first mural?
Cheery Street Mural Corridor.
Okay.
That's what it's called.
Gotcha. Over the years, I mean, you've done so many. Some of your clients, you've done work with Hidden Still, Snitz Creek, William Penn here in town, which I love, your St. Patrick's Day that you do there.
Oh, yeah, they want me to change it soon. I forgot. So
okay.
I'm glad you're reminding me.
But it looks awesome, though, yeah. The other one, I looked up, the Philadelphia Zoo. Mm-hmm. You've done all these murals, but do you have, like, a favorite?
Oh, I'd say it's, so I consider the Philly Zoo and the Lancaster Science Factory to be, like, sort of like sister murals. And so it's nature-based. It's all how the water affects, like the water from the city affects the environment around it. It's like all the native species that would be part of the ecosystem there. And so the Philly one is like Philadelphia-based species. And then the Lancaster one is Lancaster to, so it's Conestoga Creek to the, not Swatara. Conestoga Creek to the Susquehanna to then the Chesapeake Bay. And that's 100 feet long. The Philadelphia one is 50 feet long.
How long did it take, roughly?
That one took, we started it 2 years prior, and that was design, and then COVID happened, and stuff got shut down, and then It finally started. It took me about 2 months to paint, but I did leave and go to a school to teach during that time for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So I came back to it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. So roughly like 2-3 months maybe for the Philly one. And that was what'd you say, a 50-foot wall?
Oh, the Philly one was about 2 months. Yep. But it was hot. I had to lug all my gear.
Yeah. What do you take?
So it was like way too hot for that project.
What's the gear for a mural artist, a traveling mural artist? Like, what do you bring with you?
If you were to be me, you would bring way too much. It's like I'm like, well, what if I need like this or that? So yeah, I always take like I use thick body UV resistant mural paint, and then I use typically like a primer that would be like a high quality type of primer, and then I would use a latex white. That would be my mixing agent to get different tones and layers and stuff. Brushes, lots of different types of brushes. Big buckets, I can never have enough buckets. Whenever I think I have enough buckets, I still need another one. You have to transport your wet. If you don't have anywhere to wash your stuff, you got to take it home with you. You know.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
So it's like I'm always carrying around dirty brushes.
Oh, right. And then, so you have these buckets filled with water. Filled with paint. Yeah.
All sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
And
do you use rollers at all to put the paint on, or is it
for just mostly for primer? Maybe if I'm like doing like a background, like of like a grassy layer, I'll build it up a little bit. But mostly, I have my sketches up on the primer, so I don't want to cover them up too much.
Oh,
like I'll use like charcoal or Sharpie or depending on what the project is, or pencil or chalk.
Okay, so first you have to draw this all out before you can even paint it.
Yes, yeah.
Wow, so you prime the wall or whatever you're going to be painting, the metal, the brick, and then charcoal, like you said, or Sharpie, sketch it out. Mm-hmm. And then you go in and paint, and then you fine-tune that. Mm-hmm. What a process. So to prime a wall, and I'm sorry if I'm like diving so deep into it, but I just don't know about it. Mm-hmm. And then to do the sketches, that probably takes days, right? You're not doing that in a couple hours. Yeah.
The prep for these projects takes me. I like don't sleep sometimes. Like I'm just like completely like in the zone. Like I need like until I like get a grasp on it mentally. I just am in it. I'm the project.
Until it consumes you.
Yeah, yeah. And like most of these projects take a while. Like I've been talking about this one coming up in Perry County for like the last 4 months. I just slapped together a design for them. It's not going to look like that, but like it exists, like the concept sort of there. But I have to do like way more research on it. And then I'll be going up there and working with the students in September. But a lot of projects take like a couple of months in advance.
Yeah.
To like prep mentally.
Just to plan it.
Well, and it's not on my part. It's like a lot of people need permissions too.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you can't just all of a sudden show up and start priming and sketching on someone's wall. You know, they're like, what are you
sometimes
doing?
you can. Sometimes you can.
Yeah?
If they want it.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
If
right.
you're allowed to do it.
Yeah, if you have permission. Right. You're not just sneaking in at night. Is there a piece that you did that's been like the most challenging for you?
Oh, everything I do is challenging. Like I feel like I challenge myself way more than I need to.
Okay.
I'm always like that's not. Nothing is exactly like you think it's gonna be all the time, and it's like just slight variations. Like maybe I could like fix that a little bit. So I think I guess. I don't know if I have an answer for that.
Okay. No, I just wanted
in
to
general,
ask.
just ishness.
Yeah. I imagine, like you said, everything you do has different challenges, different obstacles to overcome.
Mm-hmm. Definitely the design part is my hardest part.
The planning, the layout of the piece. I believe it because
there's like a best way it can look, and what is that best way?
Yeah.
Can I figure it out?
That's the most crucial too, because once you have it figured out and you sketch it up, there's kind of like no going back.
I mean, I've done that before, where I didn't like the way something was and just kind of whitewashed it and did it over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe adjusted it slightly bigger. I mean, I work in layers. That's the benefit of acrylic. You know, you can you can build it up and build up your tones and stuff. So I have changed things completely a couple times.
Yeah. So now you've worked with over 5,500 students since 2017. Tell us what that experience has been like.
All different ages, all different types of schools, like inner cities, like countrysides, like elementary, like kindergarten sometimes, a couple kindergartners, middle, high schools, and then some different adult programs I've done. One of the recent ones was at the Department of Labor in downtown Harrisburg, and so that was like with 200 adults, which I just kind of like provided the space for them and then guided them a little bit.
Okay.
Like I had it prepped for them to like just show up and do stuff more than like training them to do anything. So some of them are more hands-on than others, but like I have been personally active with 5,500 students plus.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty cool.
I mean, that's making a big impact too. Mm-hmm. You know, and bringing the arts, maybe reviving them. You know.
Yeah, I mean, the more people that are involved in it, even if people see it happening, it's like ownership. You have the ownership of that space now. And when there's ownership of a space, people take care of it. People watch it.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
It's like a wayfinding system then too. Like people make it a landmark rather than like a blank wall that maybe you could have a drug deal happening behind.
Yeah,
it's
right.
like now it's like that is the wall that people look at.
Yeah.
Like nobody's doing weird stuff in front of it probably.
And I feel like, exactly. And I feel like it boosts, like, I don't know if it's morale, but it boosts the city, I feel like, or the county, or, you know, even the state. Because, right, people take pride in it. You know what I mean? It goes from, could be a rundown drug house, and now all of a sudden, you know, it has this beautiful mural, and you want to take, like you said, you want to take care of it.
Yeah.
You know, you're proud of it almost.
Yeah, and I was told that when I was being trained in mural, more so revitalization stuff, that it is a catalyst for change. Like
yeah.
Murals are a very visual, in-your-face way to change the way people feel about something. It's not that expensive. Like you
That's
can
very well put,
slap
yeah.
some paint up and make people feel differently about a space.
Let's talk about some of the awards, the nominations, like what you have
this
here.
Desk is covered.
Yes, this desk is covered.
I was like trying to explain it in this article. I mean, this prompt you sent me, and I was just like, I'm just gonna bring him in because.
Yeah, I'm so glad you did, and I'll take a photo. It'll be on Facebook and Instagram, American Grown Podcast. But I mean, you have one here from the mayor, Sherry Capello. You have from
senators,
the governor. It's pretty neat.
That's the Commission for Women. Yeah, this is Congress.
Wow. One from Congress. And I love how the printer in me, like I was saying earlier, the gold foil stamping, Lebanon County Women's Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Fun little stuff. Senate, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, I'll just bring him in.
The most recent one, I think, was from Governor Shapiro. Where's he at? Is this it?
Yeah.
Is that it, the one?
Yeah, this was the Women's Hall of Fame in Lebanon, PA had recognized me last year, and I didn't know I was nominated this year. And then they were like, hey, you won. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Like, I just read this email, and I'm like, wait, I won? I didn't even know I was nominated.
You didn't even know you're nominated?
No.
Do you know who nominated you? Just
I mean, I guess the nomination lasts from one year to the next.
I've never had somebody come in with all these awards and accolades. And
well, they're all part of the same award. So it just is like pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Yeah. So you've done 100 plus murals. How do you view and incorporate nature into your art and your creative process?
I like to involve nature in any way that I can. Like, whether it's being like, so I used to be really heavy into like the sacred geometry type stuff, like how to infuse like mathematical, like potential mathematical fractals and stuff into merging with nature forms. But now I'm mostly just like, no, let's just make it like beautiful local plants that people recognize and local species that people recognize. And I started realizing that people's favorite murals that I did were the ones with the animals. I was like, I just need to make sure I keep adding animals.
Yeah.
Everyone loves the
that's
animals.
The key.
And like the favorite part of like the one that's in the Department of Labor is the cow.
Really?
Like, everyone loves the cow. That was the last part I added when I realized that people liked animals. I don't know, like, duh.
It just makes sense. Something cute, you know, like a cat or a puppy dog or a cow in this case. Yeah.
Yeah. People relate to animals and animals relate to nature.
That's a perfect tie-in. What would you say motivates you to be the best version of yourself?
What motivates me? I guess nature is the thing to motivate me the most. Especially water. I love being around anything water. I spent some time like traveling to the Keys a couple times and did some like boat bottom cleaning and I rented like the wetsuit and went down there for a couple hours, and it's like the hardest I've ever worked, but like fish surround you and like the water was so clear that you could see everything, and it's like pretty disgusting.
Okay, so take us through boat bottom cleaning. What do you got to do? You got your wetsuit on, you're down in the water.
Yeah, you have to like make sure that the shrimp don't get in your ears and stuff, so you have to like wear like the ear thing, and there's like I think it's krill, it's not shrimp. And you jump in the water and you have your scraper and you have to go under the boat and just scrape the whole entire bottom of the boat. Then my friend, he moved up to Maine since then, but he had like the ventilator mask.
Okay.
So I mean, I had like the respirator, I guess, or it's sort of like scuba diving, but not.
I'm picturing
it's like a bubbler.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna get nerdy.
Really work to breathe in.
Like the Star Wars where they put the what is it, Episode 1 with Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and they put the breather on. But anyway, because they're going to down to like Naboo to visit the Gungans. Anyway, that's real nerdy. But so you're scraping off barnacles and things like that?
Yeah, and like anything on the bottom of the boat, they don't want it there. Anything that's on the bottom of the boat is drag. So your fuel efficiency is less, and so you got to get a clean boat bottom, otherwise you're just like wasting money. So then you just like down there with the snorkeler, and like my friend was like he had the weighted belt. I didn't have the weighted belt, so he was like way down underneath. He would do like the bottom stuff, and I'd just be like full body motions. Like it's definitely the hardest I've ever worked, but it's very rewarding and pays pretty decent.
So definitely nature motivates you to be the best and put forth the best, I would say, art.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your passion?
Oh, I love everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love like basically anything that is of any type of interest at all. I'm kind of like, oh, I want to know more about that. Like, let me see what that means, and let me try it. Oh, I'm bad at it. No, I'm gonna really be obsessed with it.
Oh, so then you double down on it.
Yeah.
You're like, let's go.
Yeah. So then I started like I joined the circus in Lancaster before. It's not there anymore, but I was like in the circus. I did try to do the juggling thing and wasn't very good at that.
Perfect, because that ties into the items that you brought. You know, you have your book, you have all your awards, but then you also brought a paintbrush and the cards, which ties into the magic. Tell us about those two items.
Cards, obviously, magic. Like I used to have like really intricate tricks, and like when you're traveling, you just what can you buy on the street? Go to a CVS or go to a discount store and buy cards.
You can get them anywhere.
Anywhere,
almost. Yeah.
So it started to revert back to just cards, coins, ropes, just simple things and so now basically that's all I do anymore. But like I used to have really complex tricks, and I don't remember the handlings, and I don't remember like the patter. Like a lot of it's like the storytelling, and I was gonna say,
can you do one now? Like,
oh yeah.
Could you do something? All right, hold on. I want to try to get a video. Oh, dude, can you do that again? That sounds so cool. That's ASMR, right, or whatever that is. So those are the cards being shuffled.
Would you like to shuffle them?
Oh, I can try. I'm not a magician or poker dealer. I'll do one of these where you just spread them all out on the table. Okay, so it's a real deck of cards. I'm gonna like do this because I see people half it or something. Okay, what's the goal? What are we gonna do?
All right, so you feel comfortable with this deck of cards?
I do. Yep.
Okay, so I guess at this point, say stop anywhere that you'd like. I'll riffle through them, and you don't have to say stop right away. You can let it go a couple times if you want.
Okay. Stop.
Right there. Are you sure?
Yes.
You positive?
Yes. Should I take this card?
Yeah. Okay,
I take this card. Okay.
Do you like it?
What if I don't?
You can take another one.
Can I?
Yeah.
Is that going to mess it up? What if I don't like that one? Can I take a third one? Or is that going to mess it up?
I thought you were going to put it back. Put it back.
Oh, yeah, I'll put it back. Can I put them both back, though? I don't like it either of them.
Put them both back.
Okay, I'm going to put them both back. I'm going to take one more. Okay, I like this one. Okay.
All right.
I like this card.
Did the camera pick it up enough?
Yep.
All right. So say stop, and I'll break it.
Stop.
Right there. Are you sure?
Yep.
Put it back.
Put it back. Okay.
Back on top. Oop. It's all good.
Okay.
Making messes.
Shuffling the
Nothing wrong with
cards. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay.
We'll give it a little. Pick a number 1 to 3.
3.
3. Okay. Do 1, 2, 3.
Whoa.
3 times. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. All right, so I guess we'll lay these out like that, and I'll just kind of go across them because I need you to put your hand out and visualize your card on the tip of your fingertip, and put your finger out.
Okay, finger out.
One finger out. Yep.
One finger. Yep. All right.
So now scan the deck and visualize it rising out.
Okay.
It's not rising. And this is all verbal, so this is the second verbal magic trick I've ever done.
Oh, okay.
So
I got to visualize it more?
Yeah, visualize a little bit more. Okay, so I feel like this is a spot to break. It's not any of... Actually, that jumped out too. We'll take those. Okay. It's not any of these, is what I feel.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I'm going to slide my finger again.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to start over here.
Yep. For the viewers, he's sliding his finger across the deck, and nothing is happening, so you're not missing anything.
Right.
Except for now, I just felt like the 6 is the pivot point.
Okay.
It's none of these.
All right, it's none of those.
Am I correct so far?
So far,
or
yes.
Am I correct in feeling...
Oh, you're yes, the force is strong with you.
Okay, so we're just going to kind of scatter them out face down this time.
Okay. Oh, wow, you really shuffled them up.
So, point to 4 of them.
I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, we'll pull the other ones away. Which ones?
1, 2, 3, and I think this one's 4.
So get rid of these, okay?
Oh, now I'm really nervous because what if it's not one of these?
I hope it is.
I hope so too, because I feel like it's been really cool.
Okay, now pick 2. We might switch it up this time. Pick 2.
Okay, I'm going to pick this one and this one.
Okay, so we're going to switch it up and get rid of those.
Oh boy, okay.
All right, now pick 1.
Pick 1.
And we might switch it up again.
I'm going to say that one.
Okay, so we're going to switch it and we're going to keep this one now.
Okay.
That means we're removing this one.
Okay.
Was it that one?
No, it wasn't that one.
Would you like to check it?
Oh, I'd love to check it. I'm really nervous. Okay.
Please.
Oh, no.
Really?
Really?
That wasn't it? Oh, no. Oh, my goodness.
Wait,
man.
Wait, what were those last two, though? You have to have it because...
Oh, my goodness. That's why...
That one.
Jeez Louise.
I was going to say, am I sitting on it? What if it came out of my sock? Wouldn't that be crazy?
Let's see, the real trick comes here where I was acting like that I didn't know which card it was.
Oh, snap.
But the whole time I knew which card it was, right?
It's not behind my ear.
Yeah.
I checked. It's not.
So it was this card, right?
Yeah,
The Jack of Hearts. See, I knew that because if you take it and you put it in the middle of the deck, you're not supposed to like do all that extra stuff. You're just supposed to go like that and snap, and it comes back up to the top. That was the whole thing. So that was the whole thing the whole time.
That was so cool.
So this time, do you want to do it? This time?
Okay. Yeah. Wait. Okay.
So here, this time I'll give you half the deck.
You just made the card jump up. You put it in the middle.
You take half the deck.
Okay, I'm gonna hold
You break
this.
it this time somewhere, and we'll put it right there.
Okay.
And you put that on top, and you snap and say to the top.
To the top.
Go ahead, check it out. Oh, wait, you messed it up this time. That wasn't me.
Okay,
you were
did.
holding the deck. That was not my problem. Hold on. Wait, I gave you the bottom half. Oh, you made it jump over here. That's what happened.
What?
Okay.
Wow, Katie, that was so cool. You definitely put it in my hand, and I don't know how it went from here to there. Don't tell me, please.
So you have to mix some wind into it, and then you blow some wind into it, and you have to squeeze it with a little bit of pressure, and you squeeze it really tight. Like, squeeze it really tight, like that. You throw it in the air like this, and you get rid of it.
That was so cool. Wow, I'm so glad.
And it's not the next one either. Just in case you were curious, it wasn't that one.
That was awesome. I'm dead serious. That was so cool.
It could be that one, though. You just snap, and it's that one. Magic.
See, I love that.
I don't do
love
anything
that.
but cards, and of course I messed up the first one, but that's all good.
Oh, that was so
You
cool.
know, that's
though.
how it goes.
What are you talking about? It played right through. I need like 5 different camera angles just to try to capture how you did that, because I still feel like the card should be somewhere in here.
For a second, they were all the Jack of Hearts.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
That's
I made
the
all
real
of them
trick.
Jack of Hearts. Yep.
Wow. So if the murals, I mean, if they were to not work out, which obviously you're killing it, the magic's still there.
I mean, I got my nice moments with it. It's a little. It's not my destiny. I don't think.
No,
I want to merge it back with stuff again. But as far as like doing it primarily, it's not my perfect place in the world.
But it's good to still have that in your deck of cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's segue over then to the paintbrush, because I could watch you do magic tricks.
Oh, this could have been your magic wand. I could have had you hold this. And...
Abracadabra. What's the story
No,
of that?
all my stuff looks like this. I just grabbed a brush.
Oh, okay. It's just when you're...
It's just a brush.
It's been around for a while.
Yeah. This is like my favorite size brush because you can do a lot with that size.
So it's just a good all-around brush.
Yes.
Perfect. After that awesome magic trick, let's take a drink. Cheers.
You have Kitty Cat.
Pretty Kitty from Rusty Rail Brewery up in...
Mifflinburg.
There we go. So Rusty Rail, if you want to sponsor the podcast, we're always looking, and I can serve your fantastic beverages to the guests. Just throwing it out there. Who knows? So now how can our listeners connect with you, follow along, see your artwork, maybe see some magic tricks and things like that?
Oh, the best way I could say is to just Google my name, because there's articles, I made music type. It's not like, it was like my broken shoulder creative outlet was making like digital music. And then there's like all sorts of other random stuff, but it'll like Katie Trainer murals. If you type that in, I probably will show up. Otherwise it's like katietrainer.murals.art or like just an arrangement of that. I will show up.
Before we close out, is there anything else you'd like to share with the listeners?
If you're trying to get involved with public art, the first thing to do would be to just reach out to somebody who does it. And if they're nice and not too protective, they will help you out and guide you somewhere and connect the dots for you.
I'm going to wrap it up before you make a rabbit appear or something.
I mean, I brought one.
No, that would be insane. It comes out of your bag over there.
It's actually a squirrel.
I do love rabbits. I'm a big Alice in Wonderland fan. That's like... Anyway, Katie Trainer, traveling educational muralist on the American Grown podcast in the Colortech Creative Solutions studios. Thank you for joining me. Cheers.
Cheers.
To see photos of today's guests and more content, just search American Grown Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and leave a review.
If you'd like to be a featured guest on the podcast, please direct message or email Austin at americangrownpod@gmail.com.